Body look at it or diagnose it and say it's a pump or a sill or Hey, it's Jason, and I have a really cool adventure that I'm going on. I'm hunting cars again, and this time I'm hunting a true German classic. It's a 1987 Mercedes Benz 300E, and it has the 6-cylinder, 177 horsepower MPFI engine. And I'm super excited for this for a few reasons. One, it is the W124 body style, which is a really coveted Mercedes Benz, and you know, typically you find them and there's a lot of work that has to be done to them. And this one is a three owner. The gentleman that currently has it had it for 10 years. He has all of the documentation he claims, but it has a few issues. One, the AC doesn't work, which I believe is problematic. And there's a few other little ongoing things related to the power steering. So let's go ahead and begin driving, and as I'm driving, because I'm supposed to meet him in 20 minutes, we can chit-chat a little bit. So one of the other big items that's giving me a fuss is, he says the power steering is leaking. That could maybe mean, what, a power steering box, which is like $600. Could it be leaking sills? He didn't really articulate how quickly it was leaking out. So I talked to him earlier this week. Right now it's Friday, it's my lunch break. I hopped in the 1998 Land Rover Discovery 1, the D1 is what I'm driving, and I'm going to drive one over and take a peek at this car. The E-Class is known for being a big, heavy, luxury car, but it's also known that it can outperform some of the contemporary sports cars like the Porsche 944 and the IROC Camaro. It has a top speed, this 300E, of 140 miles per hour, and it can go 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds. The 300E, the E-Class, it is the larger of the sedans, being bigger than the S-Class 380 and the 500 model. This has a 4-speed automatic, which most of them came with, and the W124 replaced the W123A. It has that typical European one single wipe on the windshield, which kind of makes me laugh, because in high school we were modifying our Pontiacs to have a single wipe, which was kind of crazy. And it really raised the bar pretty significantly for mid-range sedans. And even in 2021, people still love the W124 if you can find one. It's a perfect example of, you know, handsome build quality, durability, and overall performance. But that said, there's some clear problems, I'm told, with the 124. The AC doesn't work in most of them. It's a very fragile system. The compressor isn't that good. And on this specific 1987 300E that I'm going to look at, that's the case. The AC's not working. The guy never fixed it. It can, the radios were always quirky. The electrics, they always broke. This specific one has an aftermarket radio installed, so does it work? I assume it would, but it doesn't have the stock one. The passenger glass, the electrics are not letting it go up and down. He actually, I believe, removed the electrics for the doors, and he said he has like a piece of wood holding the glass up, so he can let the window down when he wants to, and then when he doesn't want it down, he can put it back up. So I think it's just propping it up, which would lead me to believe the door panel must be off. The leather in the photos looked good. It looks like overall a really nice 1987 W124 300E Mercedes Benz. And what is my purpose of looking at this car today? Pretty simple, right? If you watch the videos, I bought that 3rd Gen 4Runner, and over the course of about 6 to 8 months, I sold it. And I sold it for a pretty handsome profit. And I really love doing that for cars that fall outside of my Land Rover collection. Looking at auction sites, I see people spending a ton of money on these cars. I think if I buy this 87 300E, fix the power steering, fix the electrics with the windows, properly clean it and detail it, steam the engine, clean all that up, and do a proper exterior like a ceramic coating because the paint looks good, I think I could fetch a pretty penny on a resale of this 1987 Mercedes Benz 300E. So I'm about 19 minutes away. I'm going to take a peek at it. I'll of course take photos and some pictures, and I'll let you know what I decide to do. I'm going to try to get a couple $100 off the price if I elect to buy it, but time would tell. So stay tuned. Alright, so I'm getting close to this guy's house. He lives in, it's in the suburbs outside of Baltimore, a little bit farther south of my house. So it's a little bit more developed and more of like an urban suburb, if that is a thing, near the college campus and all that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull in, and I'll be able to see kind of what the neighborhood looks like. And not that I use any of those as indicators of anything, but you know, sometimes it gives you a few tips about the age of homes. If he says he's owned the car for X years and the house looks like it's just built and he claims he bought it when he bought the house, then you know that maybe there's some inaccuracies there. So the first thing I'm going to look for is like any visible oil leaks. That's my typical Land Rover hunting coming out on me. And then after that, I'm just going to look at the paint, the exterior. I'm going to look for rust underneath, and then I want to look at that power steering fluid and see how empty it is, and then start it up. If it starts up, I assume it will, and then I'll figure out what I want to do from there. So stay tuned.
This is the window.
Look at it or diagnose it and say it's a pump or a sill or a gearbox? Yeah.
Ich groll nicht, und wenn das Herz auch bricht, ewig verlorenes Lieb, ewig verlorenes Lieb, ich groll nicht, ich groll nicht, wie du auch strahlst in Diamantenpracht, es fällt kein...
Okay, so I'm pretty excited about this. It was a really nice looking Mercedes Benz 300E, and you can see in my hand a stack of paperwork with the 3-owner history that it came with, and I am the proud owner now of a 1987 Mercedes Benz 300E. I'm super excited for this adventure. The mechanism for the window is just the arm. It was removed. It should be a fairly easy fix. The power steering, that fluid that's leaking, it was already quoted as a $500 repair from a local shop, and I have that history showing the quote. So I know it's an accurate assessment of what's wrong with it. Man, this thing started right up, no issue starting. It ran perfectly. It does need a new exhaust. The muffler has a hole in it. Not a hole, it just has a, it's decaying, it's rotting. So it's gonna need replacement. But man, everything else seemed perfect with this car for its age, right? It's old. But the body was in great shape. I didn't see any extensive rust. It was garage kept for many, many years. So I'm gonna get this car. I already paid him. I have the keys, I have the title. I'm gonna have it towed to my house just because of the power steering issue. And then I'll spend a little bit of time cleaning it, assessing everything, and then I'll begin doing maintenance on it probably in September, to be completely honest. So this hunting of cars has turned into acquiring a 1987 Mercedes Benz 300E that will live in my car collection until I might decide to sell it if the profit margins are really good. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I'm excited to share this vehicle with everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the 1987 Mercedes Benz 300E, the W124. The tow truck just dropped it off, so I want to do an initial video. I was just kind of curious about the leather seats and seeing how they'll clean up, and they're cleaning up nice, being it's authentic leather. Minor scrapes here, which I'll work to get out. But overall, it's in really superb shape to be a 33-year-old, 34-year-old vehicle. So the things I'm gonna definitely do myself very easily and quickly is fixing things like the door. I have the replacement, or the panel in the trunk. I'm going to give this thing a really good clean. It's showing 101,570 miles. I'm hoping the odometer is correct. I'm hoping the odometer is correct and not stuck. But overall, it is in really stellar shape for its age. This is some really good German motoring, so I'm super excited to get this thing all cleaned up and fix the power steering. I'm thinking an investment of about $1,000 should get this all sorted in terms of being safe to drive, and then we'll see if I keep it or if I sell it.